Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and another episode of Flea Market Finds. And this is a pic actually from a Rhode Island yard sale. Guy advertised he was having a yard sale on Facebook Marketplace, but then he had mentioned machinist tools, and I saw a couple of pictures of a couple items, and I reached out to him and I said, hey, I just saw you listing now. If you still have that stuff there, I'd be interested in driving down and buying it. And we actually cut a deal over the phone where he was going to hold it for me until 10 o'clock. And I ran right down there and cut a deal and basically put together a pile and got the lot for $100. So did okay. Let's take a look. He had actually pretty decent prices on everything for the most part. One of the things that I don't need another one of, but no sense in leaving it. Another granite base. This one has an Econo indicator on it. Actually works pretty good. It's a 1-inch travel. But I've sold so many of these now that I tend to only get about $10 for them. These, import ones. It was this Metatorio Gage block set. He had $15 on this because it is missing a few, but it's really, I've seen much worse. It's got quite a few of them actually in it. It's missing the 800 thou block, and then it's missing some of these really small ones and fractional ones, which I'm not entirely convinced that those were even there originally. I don't know. But I only randomly picked out, I didn't look at every single block, but I did randomly pick out a couple like this one and was able to see that it most certainly is a genuine Metatorio block. And I'm going to put together all of the indicators he had. Ended up with a couple of gems in here. Here's a Metatorio, a little sticky. That wouldn't take too much to get that cleaned up and working well. This is nice. This is a compact. So this is a Swiss-made drop indicator. It's a 0.5, and it's got a secondary dial there. It's kind of neat. So I get into trouble with these because I just think they're really cool, and I end up not wanting to sell them, and then that's how I end up with a whole big collection of indicators. Then this is a MHC. So this is a cheaper one, but it actually works perfect, and it's very clean. This is a Fowler premium dial gauge, and that's actually what's in here, but the crystal is broken. But other than that, it looks brand new. This is made in India, so it's a cheap import badged as Fowler premium. And if it wasn't for the crystal, it would be just fine. So I don't know if I'm going to bother putting a crystal in that one yet or not. And then here is a compact box. Forgot what's in this. Oh yeah. So another one of these nice compact Swiss-made drop indicators. Another 0.5 one. Different style there with the small sub dial, and extremely clean really for the age. This is a solid brass back on this thing, kind of a nice indicator. With the original box is kind of neat too. And the last indicator is a Tech Lock. So this is a cheap import, but it's a long travel with the secondary dial. I'll have no problem selling this one probably for about $20 at least. I get guys looking for these long travel ones. It's a 2-inch travel. Probably the original box too, or foam anyways, which is nice. That'll make it easy to ship. And this deal also included everything that was sitting over on a table in a tray, which was Bunch of taps. Here's a thin bit, 3/8 internal, large bit. Okay, I think this is for a grooving insert. I think he gave me some inserts maybe. What's this? This is that's a brand new tap. He had $5 on just that tap alone, but you know, he just wanted to get rid of the stuff. I got a handful of sockets here that are actually, oh, that's a snap-on socket. And that's a snap-on. That one's not. We had a couple of snap-on sockets in here. This sucker, this is a Proto. So that's another good brand of USA socket. This is a 1 1/8 inch Proto that looks brand new. I think he said he had to buy this for like one job that he was doing on something and barely used it, and I believe that. So, Allen wrenches, a couple of these Phillips tip. All right, that's good. And then 3 magnetic transfer V-blocks. So the way these work is you put them on a magnetic chuck on your surface grinder, and they transfer the magnetic lines of force up to whatever part you have on here. So acts like a regular V-block, but it sticks to the magnetic chuck, and then the part sticks to it. And there's a pair of these. They are just generic no-name ones. I don't see any markings on them. And then he only had one of these. A little bit different style there. He had a little T-wrench or something, who knows what. A drift that had been modified for knocking out big Morse tape. A couple of metal T-slot cutters and one plastic one. Brian Supply and Chase Parker. Chase Parker, oh, the vice manufacturer from Rhode Island. And he had a few other just these hand tools laying there, and I wasn't going to take them, and he said I could have them for free if I wanted them. So I was like, oh, yeah, sure. It was funny because when I picked this up, he didn't know what this was, and I explained to him, "Oh, this is for flaring tubing." So that's what this is. Lots of times you'll find these, and people think it's some kind of a puller because this has gone missing. Seeing if there's anything else here worth anything. Pair of cheap needle nose pliers. Oh, these cutters are nice. Got a curve to them. No, I don't know, they just marked 432F, and now that I look at them closer, the jaws are all junk. 2.5 inch cheap clamp. Oh, these look like Exo-Lite. Yep, these are Exo-Lite Diamond Series needle nose pliers. These are nice for electronics work. Glass cutter. This is probably one of those all-in-one, yeah, these little cheesy screwdrivers. Okay. All right, let me get this out of the way, and I'll show you the one last item from this pick, and then this was a pretty quick one, so I'm going to tack on a couple of just miscellaneous picks. And the final item he had there was this. Only $15 on it, too. I was like, wow. So this is a radius wheel dresser. This is for dressing grinding wheels on a surface grinder. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to either dress a radius on the wheel for grinding grooves, right? Or you can use it to dress an angle on the side of the wheel. So say you wanted to grind a dovetail, right? So anyways, the more expensive ones of these, like the Herrig branded ones, for instance, or the Brown and Sharp ones that I've seen, they tend to be pretty pricey. And then there's a lot of imports. I believe this is an import because I can't find any markings on it. There's a little casting mark there, but that doesn't seem to tell us much about it. So it's got an issue, which is probably why the shop that he worked for was getting rid of it, and he probably saved this from the dumpster, quite frankly. I think most of this stuff here he took home over the years of working for this company. So if we loosen this lock, we can actually turn this. Okay, so you can see how, well, let's start from the beginning. A bit with a diamond industrial nub sits in one of these holes right here. Now, the reason why there's more than one hole is because you have different sized ones, I think, that were available. Anyways, that would sit in one of these holes, and then you can see by turning this, we can actually have it sweep kind of like this over the wheel, right? So if we do it on the underside down here, like this, we would be able to grind a convex profile to the wheel, okay? Now, I'm not quite sure exactly how this one works. I have a better version of this. I forgot who the manufacturer is that I have, but it's basically a dead ripoff of the Brown and Sharp version, which has a way to actually make this do this. Okay, so what's going on with this one, which is a problem, is that this just slides in here. All right. And then I was looking at it and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? How come there's no way to lock this? And then it occurred to me that what I think's happening is this Allen screw right here that goes in at an angle, I think it's supposed to push a pin that's missing out from here that would give you the desired clamping action. And there was probably a long pin that went out the other side, came out over this hole, so that when you screwed this down, it pushed those two pins out into the dovetail, and that's what would cause this to lock. Okay, so you can set this to a rough position and then lock it. I know, like on mine, I think it's like this knob will turn it like this, and then you pull on it or push on it, and it will actuate this. So let's see if that's what's going. Yeah, there we go. See it? See how that works? So all right, so that's good. All right, so that is working the way it should. So the only thing that needs to really be done is a couple of pins need to be made to go in here to recreate the parts that are missing and allow this to lock in position. And then this will be a good usable, got a few oopsies there, good usable wheel dresser. Well, I'll give somebody a really good deal on this. You know, I don't know what like the cheapest wheel dresser you can find on eBay would be. So the cheapest one of this style that's able to do the same kind of operation as this one that I have here is this Econo Dresser that sold on eBay for $100. Mystery solved. It's an SPI. Here's one that sold in its original case with a bunch of nubs. You can actually see right here the two rivets are still there. There was a badge right here that said SPI in the same location where there's one on this. So that's an SPI. So it's a cheap import. But again, just to give you an idea of how much these go for, that one $240, and that sold for that, but it was free shipping, so call 40 of that to shipping, but still $200. So I will need to make a couple of pins, recreate that, those missing parts. Well, here's another one that sold, $228. Now, why was this $151 shipping? Where the heck was that thing coming from? Reno, Nevada? That makes no sense to me at all. Why would somebody charge $151 to ship that? What, are they overnighting it? Alright, so this next group of items, some of this I kind of remember where I picked it up, but I honestly don't remember what I paid for it. But I'm pretty sure it didn't get featured in the videos where I actually should have covered it. This is a couple of magnetic transfer blocks, kind of like those V blocks I just showed, but I know that I ended up picking these from the same guy I got a bunch of other tools from, and for some reason I didn't bring these in right away, I guess. And then I also got this magnetic chuck. It's going to need some work. I think I only probably gave about 10 bucks for this because of the fact that I think he had said that it was getting very hard to turn. I'm not sure what the deal is with this end. It looks like a threaded hole. And then on this end, this looks like where the key would go to turn it on and off. And it's got an unusual shape, so I'm not going to be able to just stick any old thing in there. I'll probably have to make a key to fit this. And then I don't remember where I got this from. I think I got this and so that fly cutter. Yeah, and this sign bar, which is marked made in Japan on the box. Very clean, nice little sign bar. And a couple other things I'm going to show you in a moment. I think those all came from the same dealer. I don't remember what I paid for those. This is another one of these Peak magnifiers. The case on this one's rough. This one, unlike the last one that I picked up, this one actually has, it's a 10 power, but it has the reticle in it, which is the little scale with lines on it. So I kept one of these for myself that I got a while back, and the one I got a while back actually had several different interchangeable little reticles that you could put in there. So this one just has the one. Last one of these I had, it was just a 10 power loop with no reticle in it, and I ended up getting like I think 15 or 20 bucks for it. I honestly don't remember. I'm one of these old machine lamps that I kind of have a fondness for. This one's got a very short arm and it's missing the next part of the arm. It's just got this hinge point. So I think I only gave like 10 or 15 bucks for this. And even that I probably overpaid, considering how many of these I've gotten over the years for like 25 bucks that were complete. This has got the same initial, same guy's name engraved on the case as this sign bar, so I know that these all came together. This says Precision brand. It's just a off-brand name DTI. I almost didn't buy this, but I got it real. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I'm sure I got it really cheap. This is the half thou indicator, and it says Test A Ment. Test-A-Ment. Precision brand. And then down here it says made in England. So anyways, English made indicator. Don't really know much about the quality. But I thought what was kind of neat was the same vendor had this mag base, and this mag base says magnetic base universal 9.5 inch height. And look what it is. Does it look familiar? It's Precision brand, so it's it's the same exact brand as that indicator that I was just looking at. Also made in England, but it's a dead ringer for a Starrett. It's a complete ripoff of a Starrett. Enough to suggest that maybe, just maybe, this was made for this company by Starrett. And that is a locating pin for a test fixture. That doesn't belong in there. But anyways, so I'm going to probably try and sell these together just to keep them together. And then another unusual item. The box says KBC Tools, your North American tool supplier, and it says surface gauge made in India. So import surface gauge. Normally wouldn't even bother buying something like this because I have so many name brand surface gauges that I don't get much money for. But this one caught my eye because it is a round base.
surface gauge. It's harkens back to the days of the late 1800 surface gauges that Starrett and other manufacturers made, and it's mint. I don't think it's ever been used. It's still got the little protector on the super sharp scriber, so I don't know what that's going to bring, but I've never seen one. Box is a little blown out. All right, one last add-on, and then we're going to call this video a wrap. Try and keep it short and sweet, like I promised. This is an eBay purchase. This was on eBay. I forgot what the guy was asking for it. He didn't have the best offer. It had been up, I think it had been relisted without selling a few times. So finally, I messaged the guy and I asked him whether or not he'd consider my offer, and he took my offer, and I got this for $10 plus shipping. And what this is this is, see, it says bore gauge for cylinders. So this is an as-is Ames cylinder bore gauge. Okay, so it's got an issue. It's sticking. Okay, but I really don't care because I didn't buy it for the gauge. I bought it for all of these pieces that are supposed to be in this kit when you buy it, including these tips, different sizes. Because those of you with excellent memory may recall that a while back I featured in a pic that I had scored this little puppy right here, which works perfectly. But the problem is no tips for it, and none of the other accessories were present. So you can see it's the same thing. Okay, so all I got to do is put this in this box, and now we've got a nice, if not complete, fairly complete, usable Ames cylinder bore gauge. And you know, the Starrett ones are so expensive that I'm sure somebody could make do with an Ames one. All right, so that's going to be it for this Flea Market Finds episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Take care.